What's up, guys, and welcome back to Haddon's Happenins. Hope you guys are doing good, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching these, if you do. Just hearing a guy's creative ideas and opinions on the political state of the world. I appreciate it. So what's up with me? I am still writing a lot of stuff, still working on some new stuff that's in the works that you'll hopefully be seeing about soon. New episodes of The Window going up every Friday at 12 p.m. CST. New episodes of Haddon's Happenins going up every Monday and Wednesday at 12 p.m. CST as well. So keep a lookout for those. It's fun to record. It's great. It's awesome. I haven't been playing as much Pokemon because Cabaret just closed. It was incredible. Loved it. For those of you who don't know, I attend the University of Texas at Austin as a theater student, and I love it. It's great. I am cast in a couple short films right now, so those should be coming soon. That's going to be really cool. Short films I've filmed a little while ago should be wrapping up pretty soon, so that's also pretty cool. Really excited about that, and I'm auditioning for more stuff. Really just trying to get as much work as possible. So yeah, I'm really excited for the future, and that's what's up with me. What am I into right now? Still in music, of course. Not Oscars, Grammys. The Grammy noms were cool, I guess, kind of. Seeing Tyler, Jid, and Kendrick get a bunch of noms was really cool. Seeing Tyler get 2 albums nominated was really cool. I think he was the first rapper since Outkast to have that happen, if I'm remembering correct. Or no, since Kanye to have that happen in the same Grammy year. So that's really cool. I'm excited for it. I'm hoping Kendrick gets some love. He was nominated for Album of the Year, which I was kind of surprised by. But I mean, hey, if he wins it, cool. I'm always by that. I'm his biggest fan, so it makes sense. But yeah, that's most of what I'm into right now. I've been watching a ton of movies, so that kind of transfers us into the world of the arts. I watched Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. It was impeccable. Jacob Elordi was insane in that, just so good. Oscar Isaac is Oscar Isaac. We know he was great. Mia Goth, I wanted more from her, but I also understand that the story doesn't demand much more from her. I wanted more. I feel like having that good of an actress there just on the side is kind of a disservice to her, even though I know she's not like a super integral part of the story. But yeah, I thought the preamble to the film was a little meaty when it didn't have to be, but overall, I didn't feel like the length of it was too bad. It didn't super feel like a 3 hour long movie, which I know is kind of crazy to say. I saw, I'm looking at my letterbox right now. Go follow me. It's Haddon B. Let's see when added news first. Okay. I saw Room with Brie Larson. Incredible movie. Really, really interesting study of the impact of kidnappings have on those who are then later found and released. Really, really interesting. And the mental impact that someone who's born in captivity has when they're out in the real world. I watched the movie Locke, which is just Tom Hardy in a car for 2 hours. And it was awesome. It was great. The only conversation that happens in it is over the phone, and he played it so beautifully and great. And then I finally saw Tangerine, shot entirely on an iPhone 5. The fact that that was shot in an iPhone blows my mind. No budget. All these actors are actually just like people that Sean Baker found on the street. Just crazy the stories behind it, and then also the story of the actual film. And it's such an interesting and unique story, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. Love Sean Baker. So yeah, that's been what I've been into in the world of the arts. I've loved it. Loved every second of it. Looking to watch even more films soon. By the way, this is recorded on November 10th, Monday. Let's go with sports. Cowboys make some really interesting trade deadline moves. Some very win now moves, which I don't obviously super agree with, but much needed moves. Our run game on defense was awful. We couldn't stop it ever. So getting that in there was pretty good. I liked that pickup, getting Quentin Williams. I can't remember who the other guy was, but I'm pretty sure it was a linebacker, and that's just going to help with our run game even more. Eagles picked up huge pieces on the trade deadline. The Indianapolis Colts are going to win this season with Sauce Gardner pickup for 2 first rounders. Yeah. So they're going real big on the win now. Breece Hall was supposed to get moved for a third, but the Chiefs offered a fourth, and that was the highest that they would go for Breece Hall. So that deal ran dead. Breece Hall wanted out of the Jets situation, as most people do. So we'll see what happens with him going forward. But the NFL is looking really, really interesting right now after all of the moves, all the trades. Joe Burrow comes back soon. He can't save them, but it'll be cool. Lamar came back and immediately started hooping, just great. As far as basketball goes in the NBA, the Dallas Mavericks are cooked. Hopefully we get Darren Peterson this year, because we don't own our own draft pick until 2031 after this upcoming year. Nico is rumored to be fired mid-season, probably in the coming weeks. So I'm a fan of that, excited for it, hoping we can do some damage control when we get new management in here. Because our owners just fucked us, basically, our new owners, because Mark Cuban didn't realize the role that he would have after he sold the team would be this small. And so, we're cooked, for now at least. Coop, I still believe in you, but you're not going to be a point guard. I knew that since before the draft. Anyways, that is all I have for sports. I guess F1, Kimi Antonelli gets his first podium finish. That was really cool to see. Now let's move on to some American news. I'll save that for good news at the end of the segment. But American news, more people are paying attention to Zoran Mamdani than their own mayoral candidates. I don't really understand that. The Senate did just vote to reopen the government after the longest government shutdown, I believe, ever, at 40 days. And the Democrats folded. They did. It was only 8 that resumed session. And they just were like, okay, well, in order to get the government to reopen, we're going to just sacrifice millions of Americans' healthcare funding and refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act. So that's interesting. That's not fun. A lot of politicians are saying the quiet part out loud as far as Donald Trump goes, saying okay, if the Dems win the House, Donald Trump won't be able to run for president in 2028, which the law says he can't anyways, but that just shows their intent that they are trying to keep this tyranny and this fascism under a dictatorship, under Donald J. Trump. He was booed heartily at the Commanders and Lions game. I loved that. That was fun. It put a smile on my face. But we see, I can't remember who the speaker was, but someone was speaking, and they're like, okay, well, if the Dems win this, then many people in here are going to get locked up, including me. You're saying you committed a crime out loud, and that you're not arrested for it because Donald Trump is the current president of the United States and the Republicans have controlled the House. So I feel like we have deeper problems there than, oh my gosh, I might get arrested for something that I did do. And let's go back to that. You did do it part. Epstein files still aren't out. It's just ludicrous, the scapegoat levels that they're having for this thing. Trump is still attempting to distract us from everything that's going on. Amon Ra did a Trump celebration and then immediately got punched in the face by Deron Payne. Love you, Deron Payne. That was at the Commanders Lions game. But yeah, that's American news right now for the most part. We're seeing a lot of divisiveness. We're seeing a lot of good things happen as well, and I think that's very important to note. A lot of people standing up for what's right, but still, ICE are kidnapping people. They're masked agents, and now it is confirmed. Like I was thinking from the very beginning and said on this podcast before, there are people dressing up as ICE and coming in masked and not identifying themselves, and people just assume it's ICE, but it's actually just bad people and, well, worse people who are kidnapping them, victims of sexual assault and brutal physical assault as well. We're seeing child trafficking on the rise because of this as well, because people being moved into unmarked vans does kind of open the door for people to be moved into unmarked vans. And so we're seeing really awful situations around that. There was this picture that went viral of this man who ran to a detention facility because he couldn't find his wife of 5 years. And they told him the best he could do is look it up online and see where she was, and he couldn't find her, so he sat in the parking lot crying because his wife was just stolen from him. Yeah, America. Next, we have our international news. Please keep your eyes on Sudan. We have members of the United States who are actively calling for the UN to launch an investigation into Sudan, as well as the civil rights upkeep of America, which is a very important step that not a lot of people are talking about. Please keep your eyes on Sudan, talk about Sudan, and don't forget to keep talking about Palestine. The Gaza Strip is still being attacked. Israel's still murdering Palestinians. Netanyahu just put out a press release because there were recordings of him saying some things and of some other Israeli government officials saying some things that were pretty war crimey. And they were released, and he was like, this is the worst thing to ever happen since Israel was founded. And if he's saying that, we're doing something right. So I just keep your eyes open always. Keep looking to the disenfranchised and start to try and give them a platform through you and through your work. That's my biggest piece of advice for anyone ever. Not even advice, just do it, please. These people don't have the ability to have a voice, you do. Use that voice for them. Okay? We can't be silenced, and we have to keep going and keep talking about what needs to be talked about. As far as international news goes, that's where I'm at right now. We're just more of the same. Keep talking about Sudan, please. It's a genocide. Talk about the genocide in Palestine. Keep talking about Ukraine. Keep them in your hearts, because we've been silenced so much on that as well. In American news, this could actually be our Womp Womp segment. So we had a good thing. It was a bunch of U.S. Air Force pilots started sitting out and protesting the fact that they would be shipping over munitions and wartime materials to Israel. They protested, and they were dragged out of the court where they refused to do this and immediately arrested. They can be seen yelling for their superiors, saying you are complicit in a genocide over and over again. And just as like a human being, like that gave me like a sense of empathy for them and for Palestinians and for those in Sudan, and we're supplying, our government is supplying the forces that are causing this genocide with funds and with munition. And I don't understand how you hear this and you hear your coworker crying this out. They're so passionate about it, they were willing to get arrested for it. And you hear them crying this out and nothing. No empathy. We're losing humanity one day at a time. That's why I'm here, is to try and help us get it back. Anyways, Let's end with a good thing, and that good thing is, it wasn't overturned. Gay people's right to marriage. Same-sex marriage is still legal in the United States of America. United States of America, the Supreme Court immediately shut down the idea that that could be overturned. So same-sex marriage is still legal. Let's freaking go. The court actually did something right for once. Please, thank God. We are also hearing rumblings within the U.S. federal government that Trump is trying to find more seats in the Supreme Court to take over. He already has it's 4 of the judiciaries, the justices, as they're so called, that were appointed by him, I believe. So it would be real bad if he somehow found a way to do these executive orders and stuff, because they're checking him. They're actually checking him under the law. And it was a big concern with Trump's appointees being morally swayed by Trump and his intentions, and in a lot of cases, like the overturning of Roe v. Wade, obviously we do see that, and we see Trump's influence, but they're surprisingly standing still morally on a lot of subjects. So we have to keep out hope that they will continue to uphold the law and to check him as much as possible. This is the federal Supreme Court, the one in D.C. that I'm talking about. As far as the courts that you have, go vote. You hold full right to elect these officials at every single branch of government. So please, please, please do your research. Go vote. This hasn't been that long of a video, but I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Stay safe. Talk to your loved ones. Tell them you love them. And I hope y'all have a good day.